I'm like, here I go. Wow, that's a big swatch right there. Hey guys, welcome back. It's got Friday favorites and Fooeys for you today, and oh my goodness, I love my eye favorite from this week. Love my cheek favorite from this week. I would say overall neutral kind of colors, like bronzy, peachy sort of shades. My eye look got like pretty intense, and I wasn't even really intending for it to, but here we are. That's what we got. So, has some fun things to chat about, some new favorites, and then revisited a couple things in my collection. So, yeah, let's get to it. Oh my goodness. I love this palette so much. This is the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Sugar Cone 8-color shadow palette. So here is the outside sleeve, and then here is the actual palette itself. And you open it up, and it is overall just a bronzy, warm-toned, neutral palette. I was gonna say coppery, but it's really not coppery. It's more on the bronzy side, but these are a little bit more on the kind of like camel-y side. So beautiful, and the formula is incredible in my opinion. So I have a little bit of this in my crease, a little bit of this, a little bit of this in my outer corner, a mixture of this, and then I have that one on the inner corners of my eyes. That one might be my favorite. It is so good. This reminds me of the Marvin Magnificent palette, which was one of my very favorites from BH. The colors I don't think are exactly like the same. The Marvin one was a little bit more peachy, I think, but the formula is very similar in that it's just intense pigmentation. Just so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Such a good formula. The mattes are pigmented but blendable and not difficult to work with. They are a little bit soft, especially in the pan. They kick up quite a bit of product. And you do get a little bit of fallout on your face, but just tap off your brush. I find it to be a really, really good formula. I mean, you can see the rich pigmentation there, and then look how those metallic-y shades catch the light. Oh, so good. So I was using these with a setting spray. That's how I applied them on my lid. So it really just makes it look like intense, melted metal, light reflecting goodness on your eyes. So pretty. And then the lightest shade is kind of like this. It has a slight peachy duochrome shift to it. And when you get it on your eyes, I can see almost like, I think it's a little bit of shimmer. Yeah, looking at it, it is shimmer. But it's so micro, it's really, really tiny and so beautiful. So it just catches the light. I applied it pretty intensely, but if you apply it lightly, it brings out more of that shimmer. It's just so pretty. It is such a beautiful shade. So yeah, if you love a good neutral palette, this is beautiful. But they also have colorful ones too in this collection. I also got the orangey one, and I was also looking at the purpley and pink one, and the kind of reddish raspberry one. There's a blue one, there's a green one, but the formula is so good. I think it's supposed to have a scent to it. I think. I was trying to figure this out. I can't tell. I'm like, here I go. It's either, I don't know. It might just be the packaging that I'm smelling, because it's not like a sweet smell. I feel like I can notice something more with the orangey palette that I got. But anyway, that's just a little side note. Not really sure about that, but it's so good. Okay, who else is super excited about these little e.l.f. face duos? When I saw that these were coming out, I mean, I ordered them right away because I love the little bite-size eyeshadow palette. So when I saw the bite-size face duos, I was all about it. So I mainly reached for these two. This is lychee and this one is watermelon. So they're just little face duos with a highlighter on one side and either a blush or kind of a bronzery sort of color on the other side. So this one, lychee, is kind of a, I would describe it as like a mauve-y pink. Yeah, kind of like a mauve-y neutral pink. And then the highlighter is kind of a rose gold. And then this one in watermelon. Watermelon is a little bit more, I have both of these on my cheeks today. And no bronzer. I just did blush. So this one is kind of more of a, like a rusty, peachy sort of shade. And then the highlighter is more peachy. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Well, no, I'm wrong. Nope, I would not describe watermelon that way. Once I see this swatch, it's more pinky. More pinky. And then the highlighter is definitely peachy pinky. Peachy pinky. So there they are right there. That's lychee, and that is watermelon. Wowza. Beautiful. Really, really liking the formula on these. They are the kind of blushes that you can either like really get your brush in there and you're gonna get a lot of pigmentation, or you can apply them lightly and then build them up slowly. So I feel like they are very, very versatile, really easy to work with, not difficult to blend, just a good formula. I like that option with a blush where you can apply it lightly if you don't want intense color. I wanted more intense color today because that's going to be on camera, but you don't have to apply it this intensely. You can just get a little bit of product. It's going to buff out really beautifully, but then you can build up more if you want more. So pretty. And you can see that the highlighters kind of vary. So this one is not quite as like wow as this one, but part of it has to do with the color compared to my skin tone. So this is kind of standing out against my skin tone a little bit more. But so pretty. Really impressed with them. And again, I love that they're tiny, so they're perfect for having in a makeup bag, going on a trip if we ever do that. It's so cute. I just love them. And they were $3, so love that too. Another blush that I pulled out of my collection that I hadn't worn for a while. I think I'd worn, well, I have several of these. These are the CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones, and some of them I reach for more than others. And I can't remember the one that I reach for the most, but this one is Peach Perfection. And I don't grab for this one as much, but it's really, really pretty. So this is a little palette that has two different blush colors and then a highlighter sort of color. So I typically will just kind of like run my brush over these two, and then I'll go in with a separate brush, a more highlighty brush for this one right here. So I usually don't try to wear the two blush colors separately because they're usually pretty close, and then also they're very close in like geography, so it's kind of hard to get a brush in there. Oh, also with the e.l.f. blush palettes, I really didn't have much of a hard time getting a brush in there. Kind of wondered about that, but I mean the blush brushes that I was using, I usually use a slightly smaller blush brush. We're totally fine for getting in there. Okay, so here is this. It's so happy. It's such a bright, happy blush color. I don't have this on today, but it just really gives you a pop on the cheeks. So this is pretty, I mean, it says Peach Perfection, but it's really pretty pink. It's a very pinky peach. You can see it there. It's just, it's bright, it's beautiful. This one has a little bit more of a golden shift to it. And then this one is a little bit more on the pinky side, and then the highlighter is definitely a pinky sort of highlighter. It's very glowy on the cheeks, just pretty. It just has that like pop. So it's very, very beautiful and like $4 or $5, so affordable. And then my lip combo favorite for the week, this right here. So this is a lip liner that I wear a ton, the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Dusty Rose, number 130. Really pretty mauvey, pinky, rosy sort of a color. It's just one of those neutrals that I can grab for. It's like, I reach for this one a lot. I reach for Purely Nude. I reach for Wet n Wild Bear to Comment. So it's kind of in my rotation of neutral lip liners to reach for. So I think some of the other ones would work too. Anyway, Dusty Rose, and then the lipstick is one of the Revlon matte lipsticks. This is in 001, If I Want To. If I Want To. And look how such a beautiful color. This is, I would describe this as just a peachy terracotta neutral color. That's one of my favorite words to describe shades. Yeah, it's got that too. Wow, that's a big swatch right there. You can see it's very on the terracotta side, but it has a little bit of peach to it also. Beautiful formula. Oh man. So this is a matte, but it's that, oh, what's the word? Kind of silky, but sort of, what is the word? I just sat here for like 30 seconds and I cannot think of the word that I'm trying to think of to describe it. But it's creamy and comfortable, smoothing to the lips, I would say. It's really very flattering and forgiving. Doesn't feel dry. It just has that kind of silky sort of feeling on the lips. I really, really like this lipstick. I love the formula. I love the color. So with Dusty Rose, I mean, I kind of just really honestly covered it up. So you can't see much of the lip liner. I don't know why I'm reapplying, but here we go. I kind of just covered it up. So it was more just for the shape that I used the lip liner, but I think it works together. This is just a little bit more on the mauve-y side, mauve-y pinky side, whereas this is a little bit more on the peachy warm tone side. It's good. Okay guys, those are all my favorites for this week. Just had a few things that I was grabbing for, but really, really enjoying. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Please hit a thumbs up if you did, and let me know down below what you've been loving, or maybe not so much loving. Let me know what you've been up to recently. I love to hear that. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video.